makes most women start a business? Is it passion, money, or freedom? Welcome to Female Founders, the podcast that takes you behind the scene with women who are founders and CEOs to help you start and scale a successful business of your own. I am your host, Nagelia de Ravin.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Female Founders. In today's episode, I have the pleasure of speaking with Tammy Jones. Tammy is the founder and CEO of TMaree Solutions, a company focused on career coaching and consultant. With over 20 years in human resource management, Tammy uses her expertise to help individuals and organizations achieve their goals and reach their full potential. Good morning, Tammy. What inspired you to establish a TMaree Solutions and how your background influenced its creation?
Well, actually, good morning, first of all. Actually, I was inspired back in 2018. So as a part of my regular day job or my normal day, I work in the federal space. And back in 2018 or 2019, there was a government shutdown. And I said, I knew that I did not want to be held hostage to another government shutdown, and that I needed to do something where I could actually utilize my skills and abilities to help women. In that space, especially at that time, we were very limited. We were unable to actually participate in diversity outreach. And so that meant that we limited women as well as other groups from moving forward. And so I established TMaree Solutions as a way to help empower women, help them move forward in reaching their goals.
But did you ever had that dream to do that before leaving the government job, or was it something at that moment you feel like this is my time to do something else?
Yeah, great question. So actually, I've always been a leader, and I am the type of person who, if it doesn't make sense to me, then I want to do something different. I think outside of the box. And so in that space, you are very limited with being creative and being able to do those things that you want. And so I did know a long time ago that my calling was to uplift and inspire women and girls. But I didn't know how I would go about doing it. As a child, you are inspired to be great. However, especially in the Black space, you're not often told, move forward. You have to work for someone, right? And what I've learned over the years, through the years, is working for someone else, it really does place limitations on you and how creative you can be and what you can be. And so I wanted to start my company, my organization, where I basically played by my own rules, where I made the rules. And the rules state that you must empower women, you must encourage girls. And so that's why I started TMaree Solutions, and that's why that's what I felt in that space.
And I agree with you. When you work with someone else, it's like you said, not just you stuck in a box. It's like you following certain rules. Sometimes they have the absolute no sense why you have to follow them. And don't get me wrong, and I know certain rules are made to keep us going on a straight line. But is the straight line the right way? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you have to get out of that straight line and take another path to create something better for humanity. And I think that's what government and big corporations are missing. It's like too many straight lines, too many do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. Too many of that. It's like you can't really bring your own thing into the table. You can't really put anything into it because you're just following what they said. And I guess me and you have one thing in common. Why not just go out there and create something that doesn't have to be a straight line, and we can turn when we need to, and we can make a difference, and we can help when we need to help. It's like when you're in a straight line, like when the pandemic hit, most companies were not ready for it. The reason why is because they were in a straight line, right? But when you are
Right.
flexible, you can turn when you need to turn. And I think what you did was a good step forward.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right in terms of when you need to pivot, go ahead and pivot. But many companies, the federal space, private industry, they tend to say this is the way it is with no flexibility. And being able to, because I always tell people, I think outside of the box, and in fact, I'm not a box. Just throw away the whole box. And so when I formed the company, I said that all those things that I knew I did not agree with, those things that didn't work for me, those are the things that will not be a part of the company. Those are the things that we will remove in terms of women and girls.
Yeah.
I feel like we often encourage women to go into STEM, but we forget the A part of STEM, which is STEAM, right? The arts. And so we're pushing STEM, 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 but we're forgetting about those young girls who are interested in the arts. We're forgetting about them. And silently, although it's not done intentionally, I feel that we are telling them that what you're interested in is not as important as science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But when you think about the arts, the creativity does come through. You're very creative in terms of the arts. When you think about the arts, you have those cognitive skills. There's so many different things that the arts pull into that space that we don't talk about. You learn to become great writers, right? The arts are not just about singing and dancing. It's about so many things, so many different areas. And so, again, one of the things that I promote is to help women and girls to reach their goals, right? To identify their goals, right? There's a career readiness session that I often hold with high school, college students to help prepare them to say, hey, again, definitely. It's important. It's important to let them know early that you matter and that we can. Even if you decide early on that, hey, I want to be in a certain space, or I want to be, let's say, an engineer. It's okay if you decide later on to pivot and go down, as you said, down a different road, right? And no longer that straight line, but then there's a curve. I can remember when I was in undergrad, I started out in speech pathology. And it was only because everyone said, oh, you're good at this, you're good at that. But it wasn't something I was passionate around. I wasn't passionate around it. I knew I enjoyed working with people. I knew I enjoyed talking with people. And so my undergraduate is actually in radio, TV communication. And yeah, and so I actually, I was required in the program that I was pivoting and moving towards. I was required to take a radio TV course. And when I took that course, it was like, wow, something completely different. I fell in love. And again, that's in the area of the arts. I took theater. I ended up taking theater. And yes, my family says, well, what does that have to do with communication? A lot.
That's true. That I can hear them asking that,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot
Mm-hmm.
though,
Yes,
without them thinking about it. It's the path sometimes we take, people don't even realize it why we take it at all.
that's right. That's right. We don't often know. As a young girl, I was encouraged again to, be great,
Yeah.
and to follow my dreams. But at the same time, I was steered down a certain path initially. Um,
Yeah.
and And so I ended up after I graduated with my undergraduate degree in radio TV. I kind of didn't want to pursue that any longer.
No.
I wanted no, I actually wanted to. I actually wanted to go more towards human resource. Um, but again, I was told,
Still
you're not
communication
going to.
though.
It is. However, more human resources and human services, I was told, you're not going to make as much money. Because I think as a society, we're driven by money more
Money.
so than what a person is passionate around. I feel that we're often driven by that more so, make money, and not necessarily what you enjoy doing. I believe
Yeah.
that if you enjoy what you're doing, no amount of money will make you feel as satisfied if you are pursuing your goals, your dreams, your passions.
But right now you're not working in human resources. But were you able to work in that field
So
for a
actually,
moment of your life?
I am. I'm still in that space right now. I do a lot of recruiting, and
Mm.
so it's recruitment and outreach and diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. So I am working in that space. But at the
You are.
same time, I'm still coaching women and girls. And I'm leaning more towards that spectrum as opposed to more of the human resource management. Human resource management equipped me, along with the communications degree, to
Mm-hmm.
prepare and to gain many skills that I have in working with individuals. I've learned that it's important to listen to
Yeah.
people. It's important to know my audience. So I may have a speaking engagement with college students, and then the next day I may have a speaking engagement with within the federal space. I know that I can't just pull a presentation off the shelf. I know that I have to tailor that presentation to that respective audience because
So,
everyone's different. They're all different, and they all have a different need at that given moment.
so human resources, is that something you add to TMaree, or is it not a part of it at all?
It is. It is actually a
It
part of
is.
it. And um, with the company, I do work in providing organizational leadership. I provide training. I provide recruitment. So, in terms of recruitment, all things recruitment, I can help you come up with a recruitment plan to find the
Mm.
best talent for the job that you're seeking. I do a lot of consulting through TMaree Solutions and provide them with the information as well as encourage them to move forward within the organization. I encourage organizations to look at their diversity plans. What does that look like? Right? Again, my goal ultimately is to encourage women, empower women. And
Right.
many companies do not have women in leadership roles. But women bring a wealth of knowledge to the space. but often we are not looked upon as being those great leaders. And so, my goal, because I don't want women to fall into that narrative that,
Yes.
oh, I cannot be the leader, or I cannot because it's a male dominated area. And so it's important that I do represent women and encourage them. Move forward. Whatever your goals are, I'm here to help you to achieve them. And so a lot of that is a part of the human resource management and human capital. Yes.
So it's kind of like two sides of it. One side where you're working with the companies, and the other side where you are helping women to actually get in better position to better themselves, and also to have the confidence that they need, because sometimes we just don't have that confidence. Like you said earlier, um, you might have a female and a male go for the same job interview, and the male goes there and say, "Oh yes, I can do this. Definitely can do that." The female goes, "Well, maybe I can learn it. I'm not sure I can do that." It's just an idea,
Yeah.
and even though that's something we probably can learn very fast. We probably can go out there and then knock it down within a second. But for some reason, we just always feel like we have to say no.
Yes. Yeah. We allow many, I would call them distractions, to deter us from moving forward. Distractions such as, oh, I may have 10 of those skills. I don't have the one, so I'm not going to apply, right?
Yeah.
And it could be something easy to learn, but we sometimes allow that to, distract us from our ultimate goal. We may use the excuse, oh, I have children, right? Or I want to have children. There are a lot of reasons that as women, we come up with excuses or, again, distractions as to why we can't be great. And we really, truly can. And my job is to encourage them and get them to see, to pull them forward, get them to see that, you know what, you can actually do this. You can actually do this. And sometimes I think we get in our heads and think too much about the situation instead of stepping out on faith. A lot of times it's a faith walk. It is. It's truly believing that, you know what, I have all these skills that I have grown over a number of years. Why can't I? Why not me?
No, I can't.
Why not me? And of course, there are those who will block you.
Yes.
There are, some situations where some women may even feel intimidated by you as well as men. But that may not be the space for you at the time. And so again, feel free to pivot, right? Come up with a plan of how can I get what I want out of life, right? Because ultimately it is about our lives and what we want and what will make us feel whole.
You are right. So now, reflecting on your journey from Midwest to DC, how have your origins shaped your approach to leadership and coaching?
Yeah. So in the Midwest, and actually, I've been in the DC area for 15, 16 years, maybe, or maybe even a little more. Maybe even a little more. And it took a while to actually get acclimated. But some of my friends have said, if you didn't tell me, I wouldn't know that you weren't from here. The Midwest can be kind of closed-minded, if you will. And when I moved to DC, I saw, and my eyes were open to just a new perspective in that. So in the Midwest, growing up in the Midwest, I was raised to be great, but be humble at the same time. And not to be as boastful, if you will. When I came to DC, I had a leader who, something as simple as just, owning a room when you walked in it, right? Not hiding.
Yes.
But she owned the room. And she showed me that it's okay to be that way and to be confident. Confidence was always pushed, but you still had to be a little humble, right? So if somebody complimented me, if someone complimented me, in the Midwest, you say thank you and you keep moving. But in DC, the attitude is you get a compliment and you might respond, I know. And I feel like it's okay to be that way. It's okay. Thank you. I know. I do have people who, I have a daughter and she's 11, and people tell me, she's a dancer, and people tell me often that, oh, she's so great. And I say, isn't she? Isn't she? Right? But, in the Midwest, it's one of those things where you say, oh, thank you, and you might say, I'm working with her a little more, what have you. But so being in this space and in DC, definitely a confidence boost. Definitely.
And, the whole time I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, I can imagine someone pass by and say, Tammy, you have a beautiful heels. You are wearing a beautiful heels. They're like, I know. And you just shake it into the
Well, I might just say, aren't they? Right? Aren't they beautiful? Right? Yeah, but it's totally accepted here. It is really accepted here for you. And that's what's expected. It's expected for you to be confident, especially working in certain spaces. And so my goal is to, show women and girls that, hey, it is okay for you to say, I got this. And it's okay for you to speak up, if you have something to say. We all have a voice. And it's important that we use our voice. If we don't use it, then people will take advantage of us and situations, and not, and as long as we're silent, not much will get done, or the things that we want to get done will not happen. Yeah.
But also we just, I feel like we ourselves put ourselves into a box. We're just talking ourselves too, because we're not doing anything with it. Usually I say to women is that no one's going to give it to you. You have to go out there and go get it for yourself. Like, don't sit there and wait. It's like a lot of women that I work with, I talk to, a lot of time I feel like they're just sitting there. I'm like, what are you waiting for? No one is going to give it to you. Why are you waiting? It's like, I'm waiting for this big corporation to sponsor this program so I can get into it. Why are you waiting for a big corporation, for a corporation to sponsor it for you to get into it? If you have some extra cash, invest it and get yourself into that program. Pay for it. Educate yourself. Because you're not just doing it for the place that you work at. You're also doing it for yourself, because you can leave and do something better with your life. So I think sometimes we put ourselves in a box, and we are waiting for someone to open the box and say, hey, you are beautiful. But hey, I'm sorry, no one's going to do that for you.
You're absolutely right. I would tell you, in terms of my coaching, the training. So I was told by a colleague, a former colleague, he said, you're really good at that coaching stuff. And I said, you know what? And this is before I really understood what coaching was. I said, you know what? I don't want to go into coaching because I don't want to be responsible for anyone's lives, right? I'm not going to tell someone to go over here and then it doesn't work out. No. That's too much pressure. But I will tell you again, circling back to the time when the government was furloughed, during that government shutdown, I registered for training, coaching. I paid for my own coaching, the whole program. I paid for and I went through 2 different programs. And, and that was, I paid for it. I didn't wait for the government to reopen. I didn't wait for, someone to come and say, well, what do you want? What type of training do you want to take? And then it had to align with the type of work I was doing. I didn't wait for that because I knew, at that time that, hey, you know what? Maybe I should invest in this thing over here. Let me figure it out. And once I did, I started researching about coaching and just being a certified professional and personal coach, becoming certified. What does that mean? And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned about setting goals. I learned a lot about becoming, again, a great listener. And so, I couldn't wait. And I agree with you. It's important that, hey, if this is something you want to do, don't box yourself in. Be intentional, right? Make it happen. Make it happen. And even if you can't afford, to pay for your own coaching or whatever training or whatever it is, there are programs out there. There are programs out there that will help you. I would tell you on LinkedIn, there are so many free training courses that when I mentor my students, my college students, I share with them and I'll say, hey, check this out on LinkedIn, right? It's free, no cost to you. You can start there. You can start there. So there are opportunities that are out there for us. It's a matter of us really taking advantage of what's out there, being intentional,
exactly,
in wanting to move forward. It's important. Yeah.
So I know that you spoke a little bit about TMaree services. So could you explain the range of services that TMaree Solution offers and how these services empower women and organizations to reach their potential?
Yeah. So usually the way that we are set up is that I work with a subcontractor, or I subcontract out the work. And then sometimes individuals might, for those individual coaching that's needed, they may reach out to me direct. When I'm coaching women, most of the time it's women, I'm coaching directly. Again, they'll reach out to me for the one-on-one coaching. There have been companies that I've worked with who I've subcontracted out and provided coaching, group coaching, or it could again be one-on-one coaching services. But it is, for example, some companies have asked to have their women coached, right? Women in their organization coached. And so, it's a matter of me having a cluster of women that I coach, not sometimes at the same time. Sometimes it may be, on a certain night of the week based on their availability. Some companies have asked me to organize their training or provide training services to them, maybe just employee engagement, right? Ways to help the team become more unified. Right now, I'm looking at how to help certain companies diversify their organization. And so that means working with them on creating a recruitment plan and where to go and find that talent. My consulting comes in when I do the research for them and I share with them based on your need, this is what I recommend we do. This is how I recommend we move forward. And sometimes they will. Sometimes they may say, well, we want to go in this direction. And many of the companies that I've worked with, I've found that, their numbers in terms of women leaders are low. And so, again, it's always a matter of, hey, let's look at how we can attract more women to these spaces, or attract more women to the jobs, or attract more women to just the organization itself. There has to be something there that will make a woman say, okay, I'm going to leave this job over here, and then I'm going to come work for X company. And so those are some of the services that we do provide. Again, it could mean just simple one-on-one coaching that individuals may reach out to me and inquire about. I've had some folks actually Google or do a search. I've been told do a search via LinkedIn for Black female coaches, right? And they found me. And so we work, I initially have a 15-minute consultative call just to see if, we may be a great fit for each other. And so after the call, they may or may not decide that, okay, I want to pursue the coaching.
But it's a great start, because then at least you might not want to post it as well, because maybe that company is not, their goal is not the same as yours. Like, probably what they're asking you is not within your, how would I say that, values of things you want to do. Because for me, it's certain things that my ethos, if they're not within the things that I believe in, I will not do it. It's for money. I'm not just going to go do something just because of the money. If it's not bringing me also happiness and joy. Like, if you tell me go mentor a group of men, I would say no to you. But if you tell me go mentor a group of women, or a group of women mixed with men, I will say yes, because I know some of my women are there. So I'm making an impact, and my company is still making an impact. So I guess it's not just them saying no. Also, you can say no, because at the end, it might not go with your values.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of having your own, right? That is the beauty, because you can make those decisions without, certain repercussions. It's important that you do, and that I do have the freedom to make those decisions. Having your own company, it does mean, while it means being accountable, you still have a lot of flexibility that you may not have with other organizations. And the thing that is most important, and you mentioned it, are my values. My values are very important to me, and I won't allow anyone to go against what I believe.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Many of our listeners are female entrepreneurs who may face unique challenges. So what advice can you offer them, and based on your own experiences of fighting and leading your own company?
Yeah, it's important. A lot of times we are afraid. We allow fear to hold us back. We allow situations and circumstances to prevent us from moving forward. My advice is to really write down everything that you're great at, everything that you know without a doubt that I'm good at this right here. I can do this right here, right? And then decide what you love most. Circle those things that you love most. I believe that is a path in which you can find what you're passionate about and what your passion lies around. During the career readiness sessions, I often speak with students or those who are recent grads I share with them, what is that one thing that when you get up in the morning, that's the first thing you do besides grabbing our cell phone to look at social media. But what is that one thing that you cannot help but to want to spend hours on, right? And then you stay up late at night at the same time, right? You have to force yourself to go to bed because you don't want to put it away. That's where your passion lies. And if we tap into our passions and those things that we know we are called to do, then I think that anyone can be successful. I think that any woman can, make it happen. Baby steps, which is what I've been doing, baby steps. But I'm even ready to go to the next level with TMaree Solutions. I'm ready. And it took a while to get here, but I'm ready. Yeah, I'm most definitely ready.
But how can someone reach out to you in TMaree Solutions?
You can always go to my website, www.tmaree, TMaree solutions.com. And send me an email. Yes. And then I will definitely respond.
But they can also reach out to you on LinkedIn, right?
Oh, definitely. Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much. I almost say TMaree. I almost call you that. That's how much you become one with your company.
Well, it's a combination of my first and middle name. So absolutely. Yes. And one of the things that I didn't realize when I actually came up with the name, it's really TMS. Those are my initials from being a child. My maiden name is Seymour, and so it's Tammy Marie Seymour, and so the company is TMaree Solutions. Absolutely.
Solutions. It's actually a mix of your names together.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Well, I thank you so much for giving me that chance to talk to you. Before I let you go, anything else you'd like to share with us?
No, I just think that, I want to share that as women, we there's a lot that we can do, and together we're powerful. And if anyone needs and want to talk, I'm here. So look me up.
Yes, all other women are always there to support. All you have to do is reach out. You never know. And I think that's one thing too, as women, we are afraid of reaching out to other women because we still have that mentality. Other women don't want to support other women. Don't get me wrong, it's still out there. But there's other women like myself, like Tammy, like a lot more that's ready to just support you and guide you, because I don't believe anymore that I need to keep everything to myself. I believe that I was born and God gives me all of this knowledge that I need to pass it on to the next generation. So I think that is the mindset that the new generation of women, that's the way we are. We don't have that old ways of thinking like, this is mine. I'm not going to pass it on. This is mine. I'm going to die with it. So what am I going to do with it when I die? Nothing, that's really.
Yeah. No longer gatekeeping. I don't need to be the only one. There is a great big world out there. It's a great big world out there. And it's enough of it for all of us.
I'm willing to share it. I guess we are willing to share it. We're willing to give, to share it with you. And then even like I have women that reach out to me, say, how can I start a magazine? I'm like, yeah, sure, I can help you with that. Really? You're going to help me? Yeah. Why not? What exactly are you going to do that's going to make my magazine not getting any farther where it needs to go? So we're just going to share it. So let's share it. I'm okay with that. So I thank you so much, Tammy, for giving me that chance to talk to you, to get to know you a little bit, and then to learn more about your company and the great work you are doing. Me and you have the same passion, just we're doing it a little bit different. But it's the same thing. All right? We are supporting women. We want to see them grow. We want to see them rise. And we want to see the next generation better than we are. And so that at least when we lay down, we know that we did something that can help our next generation, that continue to help the next and the next and the next one. I thank you for what you are doing. Please do not quit. Keep on doing it because we need more women to do that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And thank you for the encouragement.
Thank you for listening to Female Founders Podcast. That's it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app or connect with us on womel.com so that you don't miss our next episode. See you next time. Bye for now.